Welcome, guys, to this exciting episode. Today, we're gonna be doing an arcade game, and I picked four of my all-time favorite arcade games that I used to play as a kid, man. And I want you to join with me and see how far we can go.
Yep, I'm excited for this episode.
So today, we're gonna do The Simpsons. This is an arcade game that got released in 1991, and we'll talk more about this game as we go on. You got your quarters ready, man?
Yep.
Then let's do this.
Homer.
All right, buddy. And I'm gonna be Homer Simpson. I'm gonna be the father, and Moman is gonna be the son. Ain't that cool?
Yep.
Nice. So this is the second video game based on the Simpsons franchise, back in the day anyways, following the Bart versus the Space Mutants.
Ugh, I hate that game.
I hate it too. This game is actually, you have to press the start, there you go. This game allows up to 4 players to control members of the Simpsons family as they fight various enemies in order to rescue the kidnapped Maggie, as you saw in the beginning.
Look at the sign that says The Simpsons new game.
Yeah, right here. So as you saw, Maggie had what, the diamond?
Yeah.
The diamond in her instead of a pacifier. So Mr. Burns took her, and now we have to rescue her. So this was actually a very successful game. He actually got ported to the Commodore 64 and MS-DOS because he was very successful. And the game was also released on the Xbox Live Arcade and on the PlayStation Network, but it has been taken off there, so you can no longer purchase this game on the PlayStation Network nor Xbox Live, and I believe it had to do with some copyright things. So, but that tells you how wanted this game was, because, like I said, in 2012 it got re-released on Xbox Live. So I remember playing this game with my brother, man. We will go and we will just use all of our money on this thing.
And I wonder why they don't have like this arcade game anymore.
You know, it has to be a culture thing, man. Let me tell you that, nowadays, like, you can get games in, your phone, or any phone for that matter, is powerful enough to run this game. Okay, any phone. If you can get whatever you need to get, you can actually run this game on your phone, on a tablet, whatever, right? So nowadays it's so easy to play this type of game on the go. But anyways, what I was gonna say is, the last time I visited my hometown, there's a place that is called the Technology Center, and it's 2 floors. It's 2-story building. On the first floor, they basically do repairings on consoles, cell phones, and stuff like that. And on the second floor, they have arcades, and people would just go and just start playing, like, whatever, Street Fighter. I saw people playing this particular game whenever I went there, and I remember thinking, like, I was so jealous because people were playing there with their friends and stuff. That's crap, man. We started a new level and my health was low. You will think that you'll start with like a full health.
Really?
Yeah, because I
Stupid.
just had one hit and they killed me. So come on, Odo. There you go.
The bus driver.
Yeah, and if you remember, there's some video games or arcades that once you insert the coin, you get to choose your character. And uh, and on this particular arcade, I don't know if you ever seen a picture of the arcade, but basically the characters are assigned to a particular controller. So player number one is always the mom. Mom was the controller on the very left, and then Homer was on the right, or yeah, right to her. And then player number 2 was Bart, and player number 4 was Lisa. So you couldn't be on the fourth joystick and then, you know, try to select the mother. If you were on the fourth joystick, you were gonna get Lisa, and that was it. So for a while, I thought that we were gonna play this me as the mother because that's player number 1, and then you as the father. But basically, how we did this is we actually have the first controller is idle. Nobody's touching it because that first controller is actually the mom, and I'm using the second controller, and Moment is using the third controller. All right.
Yep.
So that's how we did this to make it work this way, because I really wanted to play that. And here, look, but this is some cool trick. Here, don't move, don't move. Yeah, let's go. I think the best one is the mom and the dad, but see, you do more damage this way. The mom and the dad, they start rolling, and they go through the whole screen just rolling in circles.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there one with Lisa?
Yeah, can't remember what she does. Depending on who you have, it does different things. So the Bart and the sister will do something different than if I grab Lisa. You know what I'm saying? Alright, let's go. Alright, man, keep that. Don't throw it just yet. We're gonna need it on this guy. I'm trying to put some coins here.
Am I throwing now?
Yeah, the guy started the guy. Dude, you know, there was a time that the last time that I saw this arcade functioning, I went to I think it was like Chucky Cheese, and they had it, and I was like a grown-up man just playing this game with a bunch of kids.
Really?
Yeah, but you know, like, you know, it's different whenever you have to pay like whatever it was, 50 cents to play this or whatever. That when, well, on the arcade you had to put like 50 cents or 75 cents. It wasn't just one coin. You actually had to put 50 cents. You know what I'm saying? There's someone that required 3 coins in order to go.
Right.
So this was one of them. You had to put like 3 coins for it to go. Whether in Chucky Cheese, everything works with 1 coin. I don't know if you remember how those function. Like everything works with 1 coin. So it was a steal. I was like, I think that was the first time I beat that game because, like I said, with 1 coin, that's all it took to get credit. So now we're gonna try to beat it again, man. But I want you to do it with me. See what you think of these type of games. I mean, there's not a lot of story. I mean, other than, you know, they took Maggie and we have to go get her. But you know, back in the day, I don't think people had time. You know, and especially because this was an arcade, it was meant for you to play for 5-6 minutes, die, and or maybe so, but like use a couple more coins. I mean, they didn't want you to beat the whole game with 1 coin. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody did this.
Maybe somebody did, but I mean, you've seen it. It's hard. I mean, you cannot. I mean, especially whenever you make it to the last level, it's kind of like it's ridiculous. It's
You
ridiculous.
have to get hit.
You know, on the last level, I was just pretty much, I wasn't even looking at the screen. I was just hitting the button, like whatever, like one of these punches is gonna get it. Like it doesn't matter. There was no pattern to it or anything that like after two punches you can hit or anything. It was just so random. So, uh, but I think it's really fun. These type of games, I like it. Anyways. I mean, like I said, I spent a lot of time as a kid playing this game. And it's actually probably called to be one of the best cartoon-based video games of all time. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, it is good, but I don't think I can think of one. I think the one that we'll do next, I think it will be like the one that I think is solid. It's really good. This one is good too. Don't get me wrong. But just so you know, this was called the best cartoon-based video game of all times. All right, man. So what you wanna do? You wanna stick to the left, and I'll stick to the right, and don't let him in. See, there you go. Don't let him in. All right. All right. We got at least got that one up. There you go. So 4 players is really fun, man, especially if you know people, but I don't know if you understand how this works, but if the machine recognizes only one person, only so many bad people will be allowed on the screen. So if I'm playing the game by myself, the computer knows not to throw more than 3 enemies at the same time, something like that. So, but if you have 4 people, then it's gonna throw 20. You know what I'm saying? Because it will be unfair. It's always trying to match what you got. So having a 4-player is really good. It's really cool. But hopefully all those 4 players know what they're doing, or else you're gonna be overwhelmed if you're the only one that's actually kicking booty. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because then you got like 40 people you have to worry about, and everybody else is just goofing off. So I don't watch The Simpsons very much, but that was something that I did watch growing up. I haven't watched it. I guess I haven't watched them in English, but legend said, I remember growing up being told that they curse in English. And I was like, what? The Simpsons, they curse in English? Because I used to watch them as a kid in Spanish. And in Spanish, usually they filter all that, so you don't have to worry about like cursing and stuff. Even in movies, they will substitute those words for something else. So supposedly they curse in English. I don't know, but I just think it was funny that in my native language they didn't, and it was like a big surprise for me. Like what do you mean, like the Simpson curse? But I guess this is the equivalent of Family Guy back in the day. The controversial type of cartoon. Have you watched much of The Simpsons? Some. I guess I've seen whatever they called House of Horror or something like that. In that, what it's called.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Halloween they have this special where it's like my favorite. And because this show's been going on forever. It's old, obviously. Because I remember being in middle school talking about this. But my favorite one is, I don't know the details. Obviously, it was like 20 years ago or something like that. But I can't remember how it go. But like, Homer sells his soul to the devil for a donut or something like that. Because he's really hungry, and so he's like, man, I wish I had a donut, like I'll sell my soul or something like that. So ultimately he sells his soul to the devil, and he's like, okay, whenever you finish that donut, like your soul is mine, right? So Homer is kind of like, oh, okay, so whenever I sell my soul, the donut, whenever I finish eating the donut, my soul is Satan's. So what he did is like he ate everything but one piece, because as long as he doesn't finish the donut, the devil cannot have his soul, right? So he has it, what is it called? Beauty and the Beast. You know how they have like the one flower behind the glass or something like that?
Yeah.
So Homer has the donut in the refrigerator, and it has like a note that says like "do not eat" or something like that. And so he has it there for like weeks or something. Like he hasn't eaten it. And one day he wakes up like in the middle of the night and he's really hungry, and he sees the donut. He's like, "Oh, what is this?" So he eats the donut, and then the devil takes Homer, right? And I guess his sentence. I want to Google it, but I'm gonna get distracted. But anyways, so the devil takes Homer, and as part of his punishment, he's like, okay, as your punishment, you're gonna have to eat like donuts for eternity, right? And Homer is like, all right. He's really happy that he gets to eat donuts for eternity. So like, the devil is like, yeah, whatever. So he had like this machine that makes him open his mouth and makes him chew the donuts, even if he doesn't want to. So he's eating the donuts, and you can see like it kind of cuts, and then he goes back later, like 2 days later or 20 minutes later, and they still show him he's still eating, but he's like really fat. I used to draw that all the time, dude. So you have any idea? Because you've seen this game before, right?
I've played it before.
You played it before? Do you have any idea how old this was?
No.
That's super old, 91.
That
Yeah, man, the 90s. Long time ago. Concentrating.
Sorry, I'm not talking.
I need this guy. Let's go. I'm trying to figure out if we're gonna have a ball or not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, move.
This one's hard.
No, I think who the hardest, well, obviously the last guy, but
Mr. Burns.
I think the bowling ball, it was like, what, like, come on.
It keeps on coming back.
Yeah, I was cracking up laughing with the bowling ball, because I was like, this is ridiculous. He's taking a lot of damage. I wonder if his health is based also on how many players you got. Boy, come on. Okay, he's almost dead. Get him, boy. You know, whenever you first die, you know, when you die and you come back, you have like this 2 seconds immunity, you know, and you're like untouchable, you know, because you're blinking. So I remember like every time I die, and I would tell my friends like, "Oh, come here," because he was blinking, and I would like just go at him, you know, like just start like kicking booty. Let me see if I can find that picture. Alright, so I'll cover you, man. Look, still I haven't eaten donuts. They actually say a toy with that. And he, like I said, he's just eating. He's like, alright, so you want to eat donuts, eh? So you get to eat donuts for eternity. And Homer's like, alright, I can do that. Oh man. Yeah, I think the boss fight on this, besides the one at the very end, is like really annoying. Like you said, he keeps coming back. Oh yeah, these things. Yes. Oh man, we're wasting more. Alright. There you go, that's me. So I figure every time I die I'll just insert coins. Instead of all the time, you know what I'm saying? Man, what these guys, man? So I guess basically we fell off from the waterfall, and I guess we're like passed out, right? And that's why this level is like in the clouds, and it's supposed to be more like a dream, or we're like unconscious, right? Oh yeah, these guys suck. Last time that we had like 8 of these guys.
Yeah, they were just shocking.
I know, it was like it wasn't even fun. I was like, man, you know, I'm just gonna go over here. You let me know whenever these guys are dead. Not too bad. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, yesterday we had like a bunch of them. So this guy is actually funny. It takes forever, but he's funny. Alright, let's go. So here, like, we're beating the crap out of him, and then he gets armed. I'm like, uh-oh. So I don't know how it is here, man, but like we used to get off from school, and we used to like, Dad used to drop me off at school, and I'll go inside the gate, and he'll drop off, and then I'll just turn around and walk away. and then we used to go to the arcades to play games, right? So it was all fun and games until I guess society started catching on what we were doing. So then for some reason, well, not for some reason, but after that, arcades were not illegal, but they wouldn't turn them on until after 3 p.m. or something like that. You know, after school was over. Basically, that's when they will turn it on. So we will, you know, so if you skip school and went to the arcades, they were off. They couldn't turn them on because they knew the kids were like skipping school to go play the arcades. So they will have to wait until whenever 3 o'clock. So I remember one of the times that I actually skipped school and we went to the place to play the arcades and they were off and they told us that they couldn't and they told us why. Remember we just sat outside and we're like, it's not worth it. So we couldn't go back home because we were supposed to be at school. So we just waited outside and we couldn't play. So we're like, man, never mind.
Ready?
All right, so let's wake us up. Yeah.
It's on second.
Well, on the balloon that we did earlier, I can't remember what I was doing, and that's what you won. But that's all right. We have the same goal here, right? So, all right. So look in the news, they're talking about Maggie being missing. I don't know if you noticed that.
I see. Boss put on here is ridiculous.
Oh, Smithers.
Samurai guy.
Oh, and see, I don't... Honestly, man, I have zero recollection of that guy. Like, I remember when I saw it, because we actually, you know, Mo and I played this yesterday. We were trying to figure out if we're able to record this, and we were playing it yesterday. And we got there, and, you know, it's just one of those games that, like I said, I have 4 games that I want you with me, and this was one of the ones that, like, we literally were just testing them out. We were trying to see if we can record them and everything. Next thing we knew, we're like halfway through the game, so we're like, well, might as well finish it. And then we finished that one, and then we start playing the other one because once again we just want to test it to see if it works, see if we can get it on screen. And we start playing. I'm like, all right, man, that's it. You know, we're not gonna play it because it's so easy. It's so easy to just keep going, right? Yesterday we actually had 2 of these guys, and these guys are like nuts. They're like, they don't die for a long time. See?
It's like a boss battle.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a boss battle on its own. But yeah, whenever we got to the samurai, I was like, where did this guy come from? Man, go get that corn, man. Before we move on, because then we won't be able to come back and get it. Oh, really? You know, if you're gonna play this game, I think like the mom is the best because she has a vacuum, and just like Homer is grabbing the broom right here, the mom has the vacuum and she uses it as a weapon. So you have like a long range weapon. Bart, I think, is the second one. I think Homer is the worst because even the sister has the rope.
Oh yeah, the jump rope.
Yeah, she has a jump rope and she uses it as a whip. So I think Homer is the one that is like a short range. I think that if you were gonna think of Ninja Turtles, this is your Raphael. You know, short range weapons. You know, Raphael just have the side, so you have to be really close. Go ahead and grab that. Yeah. Oh, that was a ninja star. I saw that and I just kept thinking it was like a star from like the ocean. And I was like, oh yeah, ninja, so it has to be like a ninja star. Is that what you thought it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, so I guess how much health the boss battle has it depends on how many people you get on screen because the bowling ball, oh my goodness. I mean, weren't we there forever?
Yeah, for like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, we're there for a long time, and so with this guy. And honestly, dude, I do not remember this guy. I honestly do not know where this guy came from.
That is different.
Yeah, he's like you blow two, but he's gonna hit you once. Like there's no way around that. I mean, like I said, this, it's not like, like games nowadays. You can block and stuff. So like you hit him twice, but then you hit the block button, and then you're safe. On this, I mean, they're gonna get your money. They're gonna get your money because, because you're gonna die. You can't block punches or anything. You're not that quick enough, anyways, to like avoid them or anything. So you're dead.
I'll be in charge of killing the background.
All right, I'll do my best to get this guy.
I think it's pretty fun with just 2 players.
Yeah, like I said, I think 4 players is cool for like what it is. Having the whole family on screen. Marge, Homer, Bart, and Lisa is pretty cool in that regard. But it gets crowded really quick. Yeah, with all the people, it's like, oh man, and all the enemies, and they just keep coming and coming and coming, and it just gets overwhelming. I think 2 players is the best thing. I think 4 players is although fun, but you're gonna be there for a long time.
Because all the people just keep on coming, and the health of the boss battles just expands.
And I think that also if you're playing 4 players and then 2 of them die and they just walk away, I mean they just leave you hanging with everything that is on screen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you're in trouble.
Welcome to my world.
Alright, let's get this guy. Yeah, see? Oh boy. I think we can... I was trying to get one of those and toss it back.
Where's my skateboard? He would have been knocked out.
I know, dude. Hit him like right in the back of the head, and then he's done.
I'm like just dominating him. I don't know why.
I'm seriously... Dude. I missed... I think if you hold on to that bomb for way too long, it explodes, yeah. Yeah, because that's exactly what I was going to do. I was just going to grab it and toss it at him, but oh my.
Goodness.
Yeah, Smithers, man. I guess that's why he's this is the right-hand man of Mr. Burns.
Oh yeah, he is like his partner.
Yeah. Whoa, there it goes.
Who the hell are you?
Uh-oh, he's watching.
Welcome to your place, sucker.
Yep, so this is it. This is the last guy. So, where did he put Maggie again?
There. Grab it. Throw it. Throw it.
Okay, so this is what makes it this very complicated. So you think you got him and then you don't. It's kind of like the Marvel movies, like they're dead but they're not, and then they died again, but they don't,
Rich.
and then they died again, but they didn't. So there's a lot of examples with that. So Xavier dies, but he didn't, and what is it? Bucky dies, but he didn't.
But he
Right?
absolutely.
And then Mr. Burns died, but he didn't. And then Iron Man dies,
But he
but then he didn't. I think all of them, man. They all do that. And the scene that I'm referring to from Iron Man, before you said that he didn't die in the movie, is whenever I think it's in the Avengers, whenever he goes up to space and they drop the bomb and then he falls down and then Hulk goes and picks him up and he's just like knocked the heck out, and they break his helmet so he can breathe. He was straight up dead, and then Hulk screams, and when he screams, he just shocked them. And they're like, "Oh, what happened? What happened? Where are the bad guys? You know? Oh, we should go to the taco stand or whatever he says." So anyway, that's what I'm talking about. He died, but he didn't. And I think those flash grenades that he takes, they don't do any damage to you, but they flash. So basically, what they're supposed to meant to do is they're supposed to blind you as a player. Like, oh crap, we're lucky enough that we don't have the TV right in our face.
we would have been blinded.
But yeah, if you remember like those arcades, you're like right next to a TV, so these flashes will be like, whoa, what the crap? So as they don't take any help down, they're supposed to blind you as a player of what you're doing. So I thought that was pretty interesting what they were trying to do there.
I never knew that. I thought they were like mini atomic bombs.
No, they're just supposed to flash you, and at the beginning he tosses you only one, but now he's doing it more, and he's supposed to blind you more as a player, so you look away or whatever. It messes with your eyes, and you're closing your eyes and stuff. So I thought that's pretty funny. Very effective if, like I said, if the TV is in your face. Is that it?
Yep, we got him.
Who the hell are you?
Here we are. There she is. And I remember when we did this, I remember you were like, that didn't took very long, and I was trying to tell you, I don't think I did told you, but this was an arcade game. This was an arcade game, and it's not clearly this is not The Witcher, so it's not meant for you to be gone for 100 hours. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't went to the corner and you know what I'm saying, and we're gone for 100 hours. I mean, this was meant for you to go play with your buddies 30, 40 minutes and come back if you beat the whole thing. So the vast majority, if not all of the arcade games that are out there, they're meant to be beaten within an hour. So between 30 to 40 minutes. So there you go. And I just here we're gonna put on record. big boss. Rocks. Oh, you're not. Bro, yes. Oh, you got the first. Whatever. Alright. So, the good thing about, we're not gonna do it, but the good thing about the arcades back in the day was that if you get to beat the game, you get, with your coin, you still got another credit. So, you kept going until you eventually die. So, see, we have our credits still there. So, I hope you liked it. This is the first of 4 arcade games that we're gonna bring you. And I want your input. What do you think of this, man?
It's very fun and like I like how it doesn't take like forever. And it's just like a system get there, beat it, and get out.
Yeah. So, I want your input on the next game, man. Alright? Don't wait until the very end to tell me what you think. Alright? So, we'll be back next time. If you look in your top left, there's our logo. You click on that and you will subscribe.
Well, see you guys on the next video and make sure to subscribe.
Top left logo. Click that.
So we'll see you guys in the next arcade video. So see you guys later. Bye.